Hello, everyone, and happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. This is a holiday for the Miami-Dade College, and I hope you're having a great day, a relaxing day. And at the same time, I hope you've been doing your work. This is CGS2108 MDC live class by Professor Maloney at the North Campus of Miami-Dade College. So today's video is going to demonstrate, not so much demonstrate, actually to provide an overview on what you will be covering, what we will be covering in our CGS 2108 class at the Pearson MyLab IT site. Okay, there are 4 chapters of Word. They're considered the advanced chapters, and I'm going to show at the MyLab IT site that content. I'm also going to show you where you can see at that site audio presentations. So, you know, Pearson has put together audio presentations on this material. I'll show you the e-text. I'll show you the assignment start and due dates, and you know, give you hopefully a good overview. All right. And this material, by the way, will be available for you guys on Wednesday, January the 19th. Okay. After you take the Windows 10 exam, this material will be available, and I'll probably be playing part of this video anyway to let you know what's going to be coming up next. All righty, so let's get over to the to the Pearson MyLab IT site. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now, and then I'll talk about it all. All right. So over here, all right. Let's get out of that page and let's hide that. All right, so I already, first of all, I want to actually show you from the tentative schedule of activities. So the tentative schedule of activities, so you can kind of see when it's all, you know, when we're working on this. That's way too big. Let's minimize this a little bit. Let's see if that's maybe a hair less. I think that you can actually, that's good enough, okay? All right, so the Word content, actually, let's go back to where we are. So right here is more or less where we are. When you come to class on the 19th, which is this Wednesday, okay, you're going to be taking your Windows 10 exam. As I mentioned, it'll be at the beginning of class. Class is 6 o'clock to 8:20 for the required live class. I'll probably have the exam ready at 6:05 or 6:10, something like that. And you're going to be taking it by clicking the link to go to MyLab IT from the Student Start Here navigation menu in the CGS 2108 class. Okay. After that exam, I'm going to then give a review of Word. And so here I'll just kind of show you the dates for Word. All right. So first of all, what are we going to do in Word? We're going to do these things right here. So chapters 5 through 8. Now, I have weeks 3 through 7, and you might say, my God, that's a lot of time. Well, week 3, you're getting an hour, okay? Week 7, you're taking the exam, the first hour and 20 minutes or so of class. So you have weeks 4, 5, and 6 to do that work, all right? Okay, so chapters 5 through 8, and this is, of course, at the Pearson MyLab IT site, and I will be going over to that site. It's already up right here, okay? All right, so you take the exam for Windows 10 at the beginning of class on January 19th. Good luck in advance, you guys. You can all do it. If you did the training I asked you to do, and I demonstrated doing some of it for you, and you did it 3 or 4 or 5 times like I asked you to do, you'll easily be prepared to get a 100 on that exam, okay? And then after that, so review the MS Word content in Blackboard. That just means, you know, the link to get to Student Start Here, the content from the tentative schedule of activities showing you what you're doing in Word at the MyLab IT site. You're going to be completing over the next, you know, basically over the next 4 weeks or so, 3.5 weeks, let's call it. You're going to be doing the 4 MS Word lessons, 1 from chapter 5, 1 from chapter 6, 1 from 7, and 1 from 8, okay? You'll also be doing 3 required MS Word individual assignments, individual projects. So for these projects, and I'm going to demonstrate, by the way, the Word lessons, you know, part of them in a video demonstration. And then I'm going to also demonstrate one of these 3 required individual projects at the MyLab IT site. I'll demonstrate part of one. I'm not going to do those for you, but I'll demonstrate, you know, what you do to download the start file what you do to download the instructions file, what you do to download any resource file that they might want you to download that you're going to use in that project, such as perhaps an image or a chart or something that you'd have to insert into the Word document that the instructions tell you to do. Okay, so you have 4 lessons and you have 3 projects. You also have 4, now these are ungraded, but very important, word practice exams to get ready for the word exam. Okay, and then when is the word exam? The word exam will be in class, as always, for exams, February 16. You'll see that's also a Wednesday because we take all our exams on the required class day. So the 16th. So if you count here, don't count the 19th because that's, again, just the overview. Don't count the 16th. That's the exam. So you have the 26th, the 2nd, and the 9th. So 3 weeks in class. But obviously, yes, you do have the time around those weeks as well. But it's 3 full, we'll say, weeks in class. All right? Okay. So that is enough on that side. Now over here, where I have this manage course materials, this is my view. Remember, when you get here, you get here by going here. Let's just go ahead and pretend I'm going to come over. So you guys would click your student start here. Okay. Now I need the view bigger, or maybe it need it bigger for some of you. But anyway, make it that large. So you would click here or your IT course content. They end up being the same. They bring you to the same place. But you're going, when you come over, you're going to be more or less at this site, but this is my view. Okay, I'm in my student view here. If I click this, it would be to go to the student view. I want to show you, because see, these aren't available until the 19th. So I can't use your view to do this. Right now it's the 17th. I'm doing this on Martin Luther King Day. All right. Okay. So I want to show you what's in Module 2. Okay. And just, I guess, quickly to say, Module 3 comes next. That'll be from February 16 after the word exam. Remember the word exam I showed you from this, from the tentative scheduled activities in here. I said the actual exam is on the 16th, the first hour of class, okay? And then an hour and 20 minutes of class. And then you'll get an overview of Excel on the 16th of February, and then that takes you to about the 15th of March, and then we repeat the process, right? But, so in here, if I click to open this one, now here is what we have for those views. I want to make sure I'm still in my view. Yeah, I'm still in my view, okay, which is what I want. So I'm going to just kind of, so understand that I'm in Module 2, and it's chapters 5 through 8 of Word. So the first one is an e-text. The next one is an audio PowerPoint presentation. The next one is the simulation training, similar to the Windows 10 simulation training you did. And then there's going to be a simulation practice exam for chapter 5. This is the one that I'm saying is the practice exam. It's ungraded, but it's still good to do, okay? And then you have this project. That's the project 1 of 3, and this is training 1 of 4, okay? Then we move to chapter 6, but it's all the same times. You'll see it's all available from the 19th of January through the 15th of February. So e-text, again, that's just the written word. Audio PowerPoint, chapter 6 audio PowerPoint presentation, and then this chapter 6 simulation training. So this is training exercise 2 of 4 for Word. And then the simulation practice exam, again, ungraded, but good to help you, because I'll be taking material from the chapter 6 simulation training and also from the chapter 5 simulation training, as well as the chapter 7 and 8 simulation training to create your Word exam. In other words, it's going to cover parts of material from chapters 5, 6, 7, 8 in the content provided to you guys at MyLab IT for CGS2108. For this reference number, Professor Maloney, Spring 2022, North Campus of MDC live class. Okay, so that's 6. And then this is project 2 of 3. Okay, so remember, projects is 3, trainings there's 4. And then chapter 7, so here's the third of 4 trainings. And this one, there isn't a project for 7. Okay, so far it's still 2, but you have your practice exam, ungraded. You still have your audio PowerPoint, and you have your e-text. And then in chapter 8, you have, again, the e-text, the audio PowerPoint. Then this is your 4th training for Word, the last training for Word, and simulation practice exam. And then you also have your 3rd project. This one is the 3rd of 3 projects for Word. Okay? All right. Now, having shown that, what I'm going to do is basically show you some of these things, but not too much, all right? So I'm going to start with the e-text, okay? Excuse me. So I'll click my e-text. You guys will be able to open this up on the 19th of January all the way through the 15th of February, okay? So this is what it's doing. It's basically opening up in a book. And you say, yeah, but there's nothing to that book. My gosh. Well, you can click the right arrow, okay, to go see more stuff. But basically, it's all organized better over here. So like here's a table of contents. So let's click table of contents, okay? When you click it, the table of contents is now in this left column. And then the right column is going to be the content based on where you're at, okay? So this is chapter 1. We're not doing chapter 1. Oh, sorry, Office 365 common features. This would be like for CGS1060 type classes, as is Introduction to Word and document presentation, editing, and formatting. All this is the introduction. So you're not doing any of that, okay? Including all the way up to chapter 4. What you're doing is chapters 5, 6, 7, and 8. This is the advanced topics for Word. So I'm going to click on chapter 5 to show you what it is. So when I click on it, it then opens up down below, but it also opens up on the right. So I'll read from the right so you can see it easier. So document publications is chapter 5, right? Learning outcomes. You will design and create a newsletter and incorporate graphical elements. Here's the objectives and the skills, okay? After you read this chapter, you will be able to design a newsletter, develop an overall document layout, apply and modify columns layouts, insert a section break and insert a column break, okay? You'll also learn to apply design features, create a masthead. Masthead is sort of like a header of a document where you're creating something that you get to then keep and use and modify. So think of it as a header in a Word document at this point, and you'll be seeing it as we do the training, and of course you'll be working on it in your first project. More design features. Create a drop cap. The drop cap is where like the first letter is real big, so that's called a drop cap. And then you'll also be applying borders and shading, including images in this desktop publishing that you're basically dealing with, but from within Microsoft Word. Okay. You also have a hands-on exercise. It's not required, but you should do it to get more practice, but you're going to mainly be working on the things I've assigned for you. Okay. Then there's graphic objects, objective 3. This is still chapter 5. So insert graphic objects into this newsletter that you would then be dealing with. You insert smart art, word art, text boxes, create a pull quote or sidebar, insert drawing shapes. So these are things that you've probably seen, and many of you have maybe used some of these features in Word, okay? If you have not, you're definitely going to this time, okay? All right, and then objective 4, manipulate the graphic objects. So up here is 5, okay? And then we're down here, and then it's over, okay? There's another hands-on exercise. Objective 4, I don't remember if I said now, change the shape, fills, and borders, resize objects, groups, layers, and rotate objects. So in effect, all the content you put into the newsletter, you then want to manipulate that content, okay? And you're going to be putting things in what we call layers. Layers sort of like formulate things on top of each other and to the side of each other. You'll resize objects. You're going to group these objects, rotate objects. You'll be able to turn them up to 360 degrees, and etc. to make it look good. All right? So that is basically it. And OLE is object linking and embedding, which is something we use when we want to, as an example, put a PowerPoint chart into a Word document, or put an Excel worksheet into a Word document. Yes, you can actually put an Excel calculation, if you will, some calculations in Excel and make them functional in Word, okay, via object linking and embedding. And then hands-on exercise 3. The ones that say hands-on, again, they're to help you learn, but they're not required per se. You will be doing 3 exercises and you'll be doing your 4 trainings, okay? So that is chapter 5. Right? So let's go back up here to the top of it. Sorry, right here where I expanded it. Okay, so that's where it ends. So now I'll take that one away and then show you what you do for chapter 6. Remember, you have basically close to 4 weeks for this, but it's a lot of stuff. So now I clicked on chapter 6, which is time-saving tools, automating document creation and using multiple documents and themes. And now it's open over here. So for chapter 6, you see up here, chapter 6, you'll demonstrate how to use templates, work with multiple documents, and apply and modify themes. So you've used themes, but now you're going to be able to apply them, also modify them. Okay. You're also going to be able to download templates and use those templates in future documents that you might want to use. A lot of companies, as an example, have a template for their company. For every Word document or every Excel file sent out from that company, they have to have their employees must use a base template that the organization has approved for the company. So you'll get to understand how these templates work. Objectives and skills. After you read this chapter, you'll be able to automate document creation. So you'll select a template, download a template, okay? Create a Word template, meaning you're going to save a Word document that you have as a template. So this gets back to the design. You're creating a Word document in effect, but you're saving it as a Word template, which you can then use to create more Word documents in the future. You're going to use building blocks to create and insert, and you'll include creating and inserting a custom building block. Building blocks are also used in Word to automate, to allow us to automate and make time-saving tools for when we're working in Microsoft Word. And we'll use these building blocks. The building blocks can be created from some of the objects that I mentioned at the end of chapter 5, when I said that a lot of you have used things like shapes. You know, you've used shapes in the past. You've used text boxes in the past. And again, some of you obviously have not. You've used object linking and embedding. But using building blocks allows us to then put things in those building blocks to automate something that they want to do, meaning in this chapter, what the authors want us to do to gain that experience, okay? Multiple documents, so again, a hands-on exercise. View 2 documents side by side. That's not a big thing, but basically if you open up 2 Word documents, you can then slam one to the left side if you have a Windows computer anyway, and slam the other one on the right side, and they'll split the screen. You know, you have 2 screens for each. But anyway, so you can compare 2 documents, merge documents, combine 2 documents, insert a file as an object, create a master document and sub-documents. When you create a master document, that allows you to then create a document based on that. When you want a document that has been made, again, let's say it's for a company, perhaps for their accounting department or their HR department, and no one's allowed to change that master. But when someone says, hey, can we have this form? Let's say the accounting department needs a form that the HR department has, they would send them a sub-document based on the master. Use the master document and sub-documents with extreme care. Okay? Use navigational tools, the navigation pane, create bookmarks, hands-on exercise 2. Document themes, apply a document theme and a style set. Customize the theme, colors, theme fonts, apply theme effects. You've done most of this, but now it's talking about doing it though in ways that are going to allow you to use your automation so that you're always using the same theme colors, the same theme fonts, and the same theme effects from document to document, okay, based on what the company requires of their staff. And then hands-on exercise 3, all right? So that was chapter 6. Then chapter 7. Document automation using forms, macros, and security features. So again, some of you have used forms in Word. Some of you may have used macros, probably not though. But macro is like a little program that tells that document to do something. Like it could be to open a particular file, could be to actually close the file down. And we'll also work with document security features in a Word document. Okay, so I expanded chapter 7, so now all the objectives are over here. So insert content controls, perform calculations with content control data, Enable form protection. You know, when you guys, because most people taking advanced desktop applications are maybe CIT majors, maybe computer science majors, maybe in some cases business majors, but they want to have more skills in not just the introductory portions of Word, Excel, Access, and PowerPoint, but to be able to do more things with them. You know, working at like geek squads or whatever, sometimes those people not just build computers, but they also help people with complicated parts of Word, Excel, Access, and PowerPoint. Okay, but anyway, protect individual controls on a form, protect an entire form, complete an electronic form. And again, a hands-on exercise. Macros. Create a macro. You can record macros and then run the macro and modify the macro as to so that you're doing what it needs to do or wants to do. Okay. Understand macro security. Work with security settings, and then another hands-on exercise. And then document protection and authentication. Apply document restrictions. Mark a document as final. Many of you have done that. Set formatting restrictions, set editing restrictions and exceptions. So again, these are things that we can do because we're now at the end of getting toward the end of, you know, complicated advanced features in Word. Okay, work with passwords. Use a digital signature. Okay, you do that when you're creating things that you turn like Word documents that you turn to PDF files, or if you're just working with an Adobe PDF document in by itself. You know, digital signatures are used all the time. You can also do that specifically within Word. Okay, add a digital signature to a document and add a signature line and another hands-on. So that's chapter 7. And then chapter 8, Word and the Internet. Yes, Word and the Internet. In this case, you'll develop, enhance, and publish documents for the web, such as web pages and blogs. In the old days, this would be HTML or XHTML. HTML, by the way, stands for Hypertext Markup Language. XHTML, the X stands for extensible, meaning when you're making dynamic content, okay? Which they then also have, these days, a lot of these things built within Word, because you can simply do a lot of things, even blogs and web pages from within Word. So in this chapter, you'll develop, enhance, and publish documents for the web, such as web pages and blogs. After you read this chapter, you will be able to customize the ribbon, create a custom tab, add commands to a group. This is as part of web page creation. Build and publish a web page. Save a document, again, a document, a Word document, as a web page. Apply a theme and background colors to a web page. Insert bookmarks in a web page and add a link to a bookmark. Insert hyperlinks to other web pages and preview a web page. Hands-on exercise 1. And then web page enhancement, you know, doing more than just a simple basic page. So enhance a web page. Download and save a template as a Word document. Change a template picture. Use 3D models. Insert online videos into your web page. Create a blog post, download a blog post template, and create a blog post and another hands-on exercise. Okay, so that is what you're doing for this content. All right, for chapters 5, 6, 7, 8 in Word. Now, so remember that was all over here by me clicking the table of contents. Okay, now if I want to again go back though and see some of the chapter 5 specific content, let me shut that. This, remember, was from the e-text, right? So I just clicked right here, the e-text. You can also click that in chapter 6, 7, and 8, because even though I opened 5, it was the same thing. If I click this e-text here, you're going to get the same content. Okay, so here's the same thing. If I click on this table of contents, there's the same Office 365 common features, the same introduction, you know, meaning CGS1060 type content, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here's what we're doing again, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So this opens up the same in each of these e-texts, okay? But now I want to show you, though, the audio, okay? The audio PowerPoint. I'm not going to go through it because I want you guys to view these things, all right? And you can view them all just from right here, okay? So, and it's the same time frames. It's available on Wednesday the 19th up until February the 15th, which is a Tuesday, okay? So if I click it, though, it'll play the audio PowerPoint, or let me play it anyway. that is
Microsoft Office 365 Word 2019 Comprehensive, Chapter 5, Document Publications. The learning objectives are 5.1, Design a newsletter. 5.2, Apply design features. 5.3, Insert graphics objects. 5.4, Manipulate graphic objects. 5.5, Use OLE to insert an object. Desktop publishing is a process that uses software, such as Microsoft Word, to design commercial quality printed material. Through a combination.
So you see, rather than just put in the PowerPoint file, I opted to put in what's called an audio PowerPoint presentation where they're doing the reading. I thought that would be better, you know, than you having to read every sentence, but obviously you can as well. And you see that, look at all the, you know, it is still PowerPoint. This is only slide 3 of 25, and this is all for chapter 5, I apologize. But you notice they're then showing you. So you're inserting a picture. Drop caps, I mentioned drop caps are where you make the letter way taller. Pull quote, they mentioned, that's basically putting quotes inside. Smart art, text boxes, these are some of those extra features that people put in, that companies a lot of times want to use as part of a newsletter. And the masthead, I mentioned the masthead. I said it's like the header on a Word document. So in this case, this is what the masthead would look like. I'm not going to play all the video, but I will just play a couple more slides just so you can kind of hear it.
Of technologies and page composition software, desktop publishing enables users to manipulate text and graphics to produce attractive documents. This slide shows a simple newsletter that includes multiple columns situated in an attractive arrangement. The inclusion of images and other objects positioned within the flow of newsletter text adds interest to and enhances the newsletter. One of the difficult aspects of creating a document is to develop an overall design. Designing a document is a creative process in which you consider your audience and purpose, combining overall appearance, wording, and specific formatting features to create a document that effectively conveys your message. The design of a newsletter is developed on a grid, which is an underlying set of horizontal and vertical lines that determine the placement of major elements. A one-column grid is typically used for term papers and letters. A two-column, wide and narrow format is appropriate for some newsletters, textbooks, and manuals. A newsletter title is typically located at the top of the.
So, and here you see again, so they've got, you know, real good content, basically. I mean, based on what we're doing. So chapter 5, I mentioned, is desktop publishing, which basically is designing a newsletter, okay? And they're showing you, this is only slide 5 of 25, okay? And each of them, each slide has, in this case, 22 seconds of a little video, but some of them had 30 or 40 seconds, some maybe the similar 20 seconds. So for 25, you're probably talking about overall maybe 18 minutes or so of viewing time. So you should definitely watch these. But you see also it's showing you what to do. Like if you want to insert columns, here they're showing you the columns, okay? And here they're showing you where these columns would be in layout on a Word document, okay? And then they're showing you some preset column designs. So yeah, you can do 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns. You can kind of see what's happening. But then they show you one that's called a left column format, where the left column here is 1/2 the size of the right column there, and it might be used for like a navigation menu or something, right? Similar to like Blackboard, actually. Blackboard has a navigation menu on the left-hand side, and then the content taken up about 3/4 of the picture, you know, up the screen. And then there's same with a right, okay? Right border in this case. Sorry, right small column and then a bigger one to its left. But also, you see, there's spacing issues and stuff. So whenever you do anything, there's the automatic presets. But then all these things down here, you can decide how wide the columns are, how much spacing you have between them, okay? So you see there's a lot. Do you want equal column width or not? If you don't deselect it, it's automatically going to be equal column width, okay? But a lot of times you need something different. So lots of material here. What I'm going to do is stop this recording now, all right? And then I might have another, well, I'm going to have another recording where I demonstrate some Word training, you know, the simulation trainings for chapters 5, 6, 7, and 8. Like I did with Windows 10, though, I won't do all of them, but I'll do, I'll demonstrate 4, 5, or 6 from each of those 4 chapters, and then you guys will do all of them because you have to do it to get your training grade. Plus, remember that your projects are based on the trainings, and your practice exams are also based on the trainings, and your real exam, your final exam for Word, is also based on those trainings. So it's very important to start by doing the trainings, the 4 simulation trainings, then go back to the first project, then the second project, then the third project, and then do your practice exams to get ready for the real exam. And that'll for sure take you the whole 3.5 or 4 weeks, whatever it is we have for this topic. Okay, so I'm going to get out of that now, and I'm going to come back over here. So that is demonstrating that. Okay, so e-text, you only need to open one e-text because it's the same for 5, 6, 7, and 8. But on the audio PowerPoint, that's specific for chapter 5. So then if I click this one, it'll be specific for chapter 6. Okay. And of course, the simulation trainings because you've done them with Windows 10. Even though with Windows 10, it was only 1, where here you're going to have 4 different simulation trainings. And then the simulation practice exams. But I say do chapter 5 simulation training. Then I say do chapter 6 simulation training. And then, in my opinion, do chapter 7 simulation training, then chapter 8 simulation training. You can write down notes while you're doing these trainings, okay? And those notes can be used on your Word exam on February the 16th. All right? Importantly also, once you do those trainings, then go back to chapter 5 for the project. In this case, it's called IT Professionals. PC and Mac means it can be used on both PC and Mac devices, but every project I've picked works on both PC and Mac. So everyone will be able to do it on their device. Okay. All right. And then after doing the chapter 6 project, then I'd go back and maybe do chapter 7 simulation training again. Because as I said a couple times now, you should do each of these trainings at least 4, 5, or 6 times. Okay, they're not going to take that long to do. If it takes you 30 minutes to do it once, well then do it again and again and again and again and maybe again after that over the course of the next few weeks. Okay, and then chapter 7, there is no project. I mean, there is, but I didn't pick it because they didn't have one for PC and a Mac. So I went to chapter 8 for the last one. Sam's Gym, okay, PC and Mac. All right, so that's that and your 4 trainings. And the exam, the Word exam will be up here in time for the exam, which will be February 16th. I haven't created it yet. All righty. So I hope this is a good overview of Microsoft Word, specifically as it relates to what you're going to be doing. All righty. So have a great day, and please work hard in this class. Work hard in this class. All right. Have a great day. Bye.